have heard last week that the Housing Secretary, Michael Gove, questioned why flat owners should have to pay anything for dangerous cladding to be removed from their buildings. He said the government had a responsibility to help leaseholders and that plans to make flat owners take out loans to pay for the work would be paused. The government's promised a £5 billion building safety fund to remove flammable cladding on high-rise buildings, but MPs estimated the total cost would be £15 billion. So we thought it was high time, forgive the pun, that we caught up with some of the people living with cladding. Rachel Tebay lives in affected flats in Castlefield. Afternoon, Rachel.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for speaking to us again. Just remind us of your situation.
So me and my boyfriend live in a flat in Castlefield, and we have been made aware that we have got cladding issues. So we're just going through that process at the moment.
It's not just cladding, though, is it, that's a problem?
No. So there's kind of two parts of the cladding work. There's the ATM, which is obviously the Grenfell based cladding, but there's also the other cladding or other other cladding works. But also on top of that, there's compartmentation issues that we don't fully understand that scope of works at the moment, and that is something that the government isn't really touching on or seems to be talking about so much at all. So there's a lot more to it than just what they're talking about.
So how did you feel then when Michael Gove said last week, that you shouldn't be paying for its removal? That must have been music to your ears.
Yeah, obviously that's great news that he's saying that. However, there's been about 4 predecessors in that position that have all said the same thing, that the cost shouldn't fall onto the innocent leaseholders. I think everybody agrees with that. But ultimately, what we're finding is, we're still four years on from Grenfell or so, and we're kind of towards the middle or end of the list of buildings that are going through this process, and yet nothing is actually being done to protect us. So our project is still moving ahead.
So nothing's happened?
No, nothing has changed. I mean, his statement is good that he's agreeing something needs to be done, but in reality, there's no action, there's no timelines, there's nothing actually to say, as of this date, this will happen, or here's confirmation you won't be paying. It's all, at the moment, unfortunately, we feel just words.
What impact, Rachel, is this having on you and your life?
So talking about me and my boyfriend personally, we're 35 and 38 now, and we are in a 1-bed flat in the centre of Manchester. We love living here, but we have planned, saved, paid our taxes, done everything we can for the last 10, 15 years to build our life, to be able to move out into something a bit bigger, to start a family. And at the moment, the fact that we are stuck, unable to sell this property, the fact that we have a small amount of savings that could be obliterated, and we may have to somehow figure out how we can pay for more debt. It's just terrifying that our whole life, I'm not saying it makes it okay when you're 10 years younger, but we're approaching 40 and we're stuck in a 1-bed flat with this, tens, 20,000, 30,000 pounds worth of debt and more looming over our heads every day.
You must have to try your absolute best to sort of put it to one side. Otherwise, of course, it would affect your whole life. You'd be thinking about nothing else. Are you able to put it to one side from time to time?
Not really. The thing is, there's a lot of people that have got some faith in the government or faith in other people to fix the problem. However, ultimately, if I could give you an example, in our building, the scope of works is about £5 million, and about half of that they have not yet confirmed, despite us raising several concerns back in December last year, that £2.5 million of the work isn't necessary. And had we, we've been chasing, we've, spoke to some experts in the field, architects and people who understand the remediation works, and they said this work doesn't need doing, and yet we're 11 months on and we keep trying to discuss with our freeholder and our managing agent saying, can we please get a response from the contractors while you're trying to push us to get this work done, and we're still waiting. So if we don't push and kind of fight for answers, we feel as though we'll just be taken for an absolute ride by every contractor and person who is, they are making profits from this situation.
Rachel, I'm so sorry. We have spoken before, and well, obviously the situation is unchanged as far as you're concerned. I really, really do hope, I mean this, that there is some progress. Thank you as ever for talking to us. In a statement, the government said it's unacceptable and unfair leaseholders are facing excessive bills when they are innocent parties in this, and building owners and industry must make buildings safe without passing on costs. We've provided over $5 billion to fix unsafe cladding and the like. And that was a statement from the government.